Tonight I'm gonna do something pretty unique. Smoked popcorn, yes, smoked popcorn on the Weber Searwood. Honestly, not even sure how this is gonna turn out. I think it's either gonna be really, really good or really, really bad. Let's go get it, cheers.
Deep basement.
So one of the reasons this is gonna be interesting is that I'm actually gonna roll the popcorn in the basket. Those of you who have been watching the channel know that I have these baskets. I have 2 of these that I got off Amazon. They've been great for wings, but if you look, you can see that the holes in the grid are actually quite big, and I'm afraid some of the kernels would fall through there. I actually went ahead and picked up the Weber branded basket. As you can see, it's much larger. It's quite nice. I've used it for wings. I've used it for several things now. And it has a divider in the middle. So for example, you can do flats on the left and drums on the right. And it's been very good for that so far. But also the mesh is quite smaller. So the kernels will not fall out of there. I can fit more popcorn in here. And for that reason, I'm gonna use this to pop the popcorn. The kernels will stay in there and hopefully we'll fill this thing up with popcorn. Now, I've never actually done this before, as I mentioned, so I'm not exactly sure, what does 4 quarts of popped popcorn look like exactly? Will this hold that? I'm gonna say yes. I'm just gonna use standard Orville Redenbacher's popping popcorn. And I'm gonna do about half a cup, maybe a little less than half a cup, just to be safe in the beginning. And I'm just gonna stick them right in there and close this guy up. And one of the things about this Weber branded basket, while it's about twice as expensive as this guy off Amazon, but the clasping mechanism is much better because you have these clasps here rather than this thing that you have to just bend back and forth. And after about 50 or so uses of bending this thing back and forth, I expect that that's going to eventually break, and I don't think that this will because of this clasping mechanism. So now to get that mounted, it's quite easy. We just stick this right through, and I'll center it as best I can, and then turn these down to tighten them. Now you don't want to tighten them too much because we learned with the Weber branded skewer system that it might pop the solder of the nuts on the bottom right off, just enough so that you can turn this thing and it's gonna stay put. I've used this basket for wings several times. I wanted to clean it as best I could because one of the things I'm afraid of is getting black popcorn, whether it's residuals from the previous cooks inside that mesh or just the smoke itself. Black popcorn is not gonna be very appealing. I expect we're gonna get some browning on there given that we're trying to smoke this popcorn anyway. But just keep that in mind. You want to clean it as best as you can. So right now the Weber Searwood is on, it's running, and we're gonna get it up to 400 degrees. Once it's 400, we're gonna stick this on and then maybe crank it to about 425. See how long it takes this to pop and what we produce. We'll see you soon. All right, so the Searwood has reached 425. I decided to start right at 425 because I don't want it to, go up in temperature and produce more smoke. I do want smoke flavor, but again, I'm trying to avoid making these things turn completely black. So now that it's 425, we'll go ahead and open it up and we'll mount the rotisserie attachment. And I'm gonna do a quick spray vegetable oil on those kernels, and we're gonna go ahead and roll the basket. Wait a little while, should heat up, and listen for those things to start popping. See you in a bit. All right, it's only been a couple of minutes and we got our first signs of popping. I can hear it. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, we got some kernels in there. So far, they're not black. You can see the popping. Let's close it up and let it keep going. Oh yeah, it's popping big time. I don't know if you can hear it, but I can sure hear it. Let's take a quick peek. Yeah, we're going. Let me close it back up. I'm gonna listen to when the pops go 1 or 2 seconds, maybe 3 seconds between each one, and that's when we'll determine that it's done. I'm gonna turn the Searwood down as low as it can go without going to smoke boost, so basically 200 degrees, or maybe even 190. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spray it with this movie theater flavored butter that I got at the store that I put in this mister here. And then I'm gonna pour some salt while it's turning. And I'm even gonna add a little bit of red cayenne pepper, one of my favorite things of all time. I think we're getting there. In fact, I think I can leave it open at this point. I'm gonna start spraying right now. I don't see too many kernels. We don't want to burn this popcorn. All right, movie theater butter, do your thing. Turn this down to 200. One thing I learned, I could have done a whole cup or maybe even a cup and a half. Look at how much room I have in there. I'm not much of a mathematician if I'm being honest. Otherwise, I should have known I could have done a lot more. I should have been able to calculate the volume of this basket, but that's just not me, folks. Now I'm gonna pour some salt as this thing turns. I'm excited, I gotta say. And some cayenne pepper. It's gonna go right through that mesh and onto that popcorn. Just a little bit more. Now let it turn a little bit. I'm gonna go get my hot gloves while we wait for that. Man, I'm excited. Whoever knew we could do popcorn on a pellet grill. Oh boy. Folks, this is good. I'm gonna spray it with a little more butter, a little more salt on the top, a little more cayenne. Oh man, this is quite good, I'm telling you. Smoked popcorn. You can taste the smoky flavor, but it's subtle. In fact, I was worried about blackening these too much from the smoke or from the residuals in the grill. No concern whatsoever. I mean, honestly, look at that. They look perfect and they taste good. I might even add a smoke tube next time I do this, get more smoke flavor on these popcorns. Really, really, really good. So one of the things is, because I don't have to worry about those turning black, I'm actually able to spray them more with more butter, more salt, more cayenne. I've got it running at 200, and I'm gonna turn this a little bit more. And I'm gonna let it roll in that butter and in the smoke. It's not hot enough that they're gonna burn, but they're gonna get more and more of that flavor on there. Cayenne, salt, and movie theater popcorn butter. I mean, what else could you ask for? Really, really, really good. At home, pellet grill smoked gourmet popcorn. That's what this is. Conclusion, this is a great way to do popcorn. Smoked popcorn on a pellet grill. As it's rolling, add your salt, add your butter. You can even get crazy and do things like add brown sugar or caramel or any other topping that you might want to add to popcorn. It is really good. It's really enjoyable. My whole family's had some now and everybody's happy with it. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time.